Welcome to the podcast of disaster. I'm your host JCR 1216, and joining me is my co-host.
Fun Floof the cartoon.
And we're going to be talking about a symphony of sounds and music, mostly just music today, or sounds if you saw it in person. The Sonic Symphony was definitely something that I really enjoyed. Not only as a concept, but actually going to the event. Obviously, we had like the 30th anniversary thing where they uploaded an album of stuff, but last year they actually went out and toured the United States and some other countries. So it has to count as a world tour.
I'm trying my best not to laugh here. The Sonic Symphony started out as just this wonderful visual representation of the Sonic series at the time of the 30th anniversary, and then the years in between the 30th and the 35th, it went around most of the world, and I'd say most of around the world. I'd say more like maybe a third, and we'd also see a whole bunch of Sonic songs get adapted into the performances by the wonderful video game orchestra. Um, as well as guided along the way by by many notable people in not only the not only in Sonic the Hedgehog officially, from cast members, as well as special guests and those who debuted in um, the tour itself specifically. Obviously, those like Tomoyo Otani and Crush 40 themselves, Jun Sonoe and Johnny Jueli have performed in shows. Um, I will get into a whole bunch of other people as well along the way, but I did want to highlight is like a lot of the reoccurring cast members, especially Otani and Sonoe, who have shown up for a majority of the big shows that happen, like those in Los Angeles, London. What is the? I believe it's the what is it? The Brazil Game Show. I believe that was one of the one that they had. Yeah, and especially the Japan shows as well. We'd also see guest stars such as Kellen Quinn having shown up at one of the shows. Um, Adrian Cohen, Casey Lee Williams, Ty Christian, all of them showing up for a bunch of the shows during 2024. Um, and none of it could have really been done um, without Shoso Nakama, who is the founder of the video game orchestra and the Sonic Symphony, and he basically ran through ran through everything. And um, I'm just trying my hardest to like shout out all of the
The floor is
cast
yours. Go
members and
ahead.
such. Um, Jose Delgado, I remember, is one of the conductors that was with them. And then looking them up, we have the band themselves. Um, James Harper, Louis Ochoa, uh, I hope I'm saying that right. Uh, Blaze Collard, and uh, Derek DePee. Again, I hope I'm saying that right. Oh, and let's not forget, there was also at one of the London shows they had, also in 2024, we also saw the wondrous return of uh, TJ Davis and Richard Jackley. I again hope I'm saying that right. A lot of the names I haven't pronounced before in my entire life.
Don't worry,
Um,
you're doing it a lot better than I probably ever would because I have a stutter. And not only that, I have two front teeth that like every time I speak, it like my tongue hits like the bottom of the teeth, so it makes pronouncing stuff like I'm Daffy Duck.
it's yeah, yeah, wonderful. Yeah, certainly a lot that happened in between. Like the years when Frontiers was coming out, and Superstars, and Shadow Generations as well. Primarily during the year of Shadow. And yeah, I think we're just now just going to talk about just everything that just our experiences with the show, and as well as what we hope to expect from the show going forward, because I do have something to comment on later in regards to future shows. But all that is, all really exciting.
Yeah. Oh man, I still think the fact that we got a video game symphony, to me that is incredible. I even though this is gonna make me sound like the whitest person alive, video game music is when it's good, it's great. I think that most of the time, the music of gaming is underappreciated in the larger landscape. But I'm very appreciative of us getting a thing as big as Sonic getting a orchestral rendition of all of their songs was a brilliant thing. And it was not only just an orchestra; it was a rock concert as well, which was really cool to just like see.
So much fun. It really was so much fun. Like, that second half and the encore is, like, the most surprising thing you could expect. Like, no one expects the shift in tone from, the orchestra themselves to, the live band and then to, the vocalists, and, of course, like, the near all end all of the show, which tends to differ. A lot of the shows are different, and that is a really good thing, you know? Um, just just a lot of good stuff. Um And I think, well, I have 2 experiences with the show, which were one of them was completely by surprise, and the other was intended. So I think it's only fair that I let you go ahead first and talk about what you experienced at your
Yeah.
show.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I was surprised that anything big would come to North Carolina. I remember we were sitting there. It was near my birthday. I just got straight A's, and I was like, "Oh, what do you want as like your little like celebration for that?" Oh wow, the Sonic Symphony is actually coming to my state. What? Why? But why in Greensboro though? Like my biggest pet peeve of the symphony, my symphony experience was the fact that it was in Greensboro. It's like it was a great venue obviously, but it's like I wish that it was closer because I live more I'm not going to dox myself, but I live a lot closer to the Charlotte area um than I do to the Greensboro area. Like Greensboro is where you see people like Mr. Beast and I am not Mr. Beast. But yeah, the symphony it was at the Taggart Center in Greensboro. That is a beautiful stage, and I actually did have a chance to get front row seats, but I was like, that was my first ever like symphony orchestra type of thing, and the last thing I wanted to get was sensory overload. At my first ever thing like this, so and we sat like in the front row, not the front row, but like in the front part of the thing, but not like in like the front, if you get what I mean. But we had like the perfect place to like hear all the music. It was like the perfect surround sound of hearing the fans and also like the music up close. And that was really fun. It did suck though, because when I took that group picture, I get kind of Mike Wazowski. You can still see me, but my dad gets a better view in the group picture than I did, and that pissed me off a little bit. But yeah, I enjoyed going to the symphony. Um, it was definitely an experience. Mr. Nabaka actually retweeted my picture of me and what I was wearing to go see the symphony. I didn't have any Sonic shirts at the time, but I was wearing I was wearing pants and a green shirt. And I have this like little personal thing I do where I have like my personal like clothes of fame where I retire a certain piece of clothing, much to my parents' dismay. Whenever like a huge life event happens in them, and I counted this as one of my big life events, going to my first orchestra. I'm a sucker for orchestral music. If you ever watched my show, you would see why. But self promoting on on my own podcast on top of my own show aside, it was really beautiful going to the symphony and going there. It was one of the best. That day was already rough, so I was really looking forward to going to this. That made it one of like the best days I've ever had. Um, I loved everything about it. The environment was great. The people were great. The fans were great. It was so fun to see everything. And they went on for like 30 more minutes than they were supposed to because we actually sold out the arena. You know how rare it is to get people to come up to Greensboro for an event? It's like the only thing to really do in Greensboro is to try to ask Mr. Beast for money. And the fact that it was sold out was just like mind-boggling to me. But it also gives me hope that they'll come to a larger part come to closer to me in the Charlotte area for the next time they do this, because I do believe that they're going to eventually do this again. But I loved every minute of it. I think transitioning from the symphony to the rock was a really nice way. I don't know about you, Floof, but we had "I Am All of Me" start off our part of the rock concert. What about you?
This is the part where I start,
No,
uh
I was asking you what was your song for, just to compare to mine.
well, I feel like it'd only be fair if I went on and started with, like, my experiences then, 'cause, um, I wanna get more into it and such. Yeah, no, so if I am cool to go through them,
Go
like,
ahead.
I mean, I'm just, wondering if, like, have you finished up, you know
Not yet. I was just asking you what was your first song into the rock opera thing.
well, then trust me, I will get to that. I wanna, like, do
Okay.
everything in full. So, like, you go ahead and just do all of yours.
Okay, nip that last question in the bud, future me to edit it. You probably won't. But yeah, everything about it was really nice. We had "I Am All of Me" kick us off. There was a lot of self-aware jokes. In the middle of doing his world at the concert, one of the people on stage said, "Oh, one everyone's favorite Sonic game, Sonic '06." That was funny. The crowd lost their mind when they saw Silver appear when Mephiles appeared on the screen. The graphics were beautiful. Everything about it was just amazing to see in person. It was the first time I've really gone to an event like this. Like I did like Pokemon Go type of things, but this blows everything that I've experienced out of the water. And it does give me hope that they're going to return to this. Maybe not for the 35th anniversary, but maybe for like the 40th anniversary. I feel like that would be a good way to do it. Maybe the 50th, but I don't want to think about 2041. I don't want to think about what I'm going to be in my mid 30s yet. So let's put that existential dread aside. But yeah, I loved everything about it. It was everything I wanted it to be and more. And after that night, I was satisfied and I was really happy about everything. And guess what? The next day, I went to Disney World. Well, we drove to Disney World and we were at Disney Springs for a while. But yeah, it was great. I actually got to speak to the Mr. Namaka while at the Shadow Revolution at Sonic Revo for 2024, which was branded after Shadow that year, and I said thank you for everything, and yeah, he said that they would love to come back to Greensboro, and that was my experience with the Sonic Symphony. It was fantastic, and I loved it. Next time I will get front row seats.
I'm also going to be aiming for front row seats the next time as well, since at this point I've actually just been through like every row. So now it's like, nope, time to go ground floor next time.
Yeah, ground floor is worth it.
Hmm.
Okay, Floof, go crazy.
All right then. So, uh, my so over here in the over here in California, I went to two different shows between the two different years the symphony was running, both at the same venue at the Dolby Theater in Los Angeles. The first time around was the very first show they had in the U.S., which was in Los Angeles. I went to the afternoon show because mainly because my family um mainly because of my family, just because, I was the only one going into the show on my end, so they couldn't really go with me, and you know, it was my first time doing something like this, like, on my own as well. So I thought, just for the sake of it, I think, like, the afternoon show would be better. And, LA can be a bit hectic during nighttime, so there was no way I was going to do the nighttime show that year anyways. But it was a pretty wild day. I ran into some friends from Sonic Revolution. I saw people from Sega that I recognized. Um, Not really much to do, to be honest. I wasn't able to get any of the merchandise at the time. I wish I would have been able to, but I stuck with what I had. So, but apart from that, I just took many pictures as much as I could frantically because it was like getting like really near. Oh, and also I forget it like now I'm saying it, it's just because well the 8 o'clock show was already sold out. So of course I went to the second show that they added, which was earlier in the day, and I was up on the topmost floor on the third mezzanine. Um, it was a really nice time. It really was a nice time. Um, like no matter like where I was sitting in both of the shows, like the experience just stays with you. And it was awesome. Um, you know, so obviously so like I'm gonna be talking about like both of the Act One and Act Twos because obviously they are different compared to the both of the years that I went. So um Los Angeles, we had Sonic One, Sonic Two, Sonic CD. Um, a lot of it was just like really cool. Um, London got the Sonic Game Gear medley, which I'm so jealous of because they haven't played it since. Um, but um, but then for us, we skipped the medley, and we would end up going over into just the symphony rendition of Sky Sanctuary, then the Sonic Mania medley, Believe in Myself, and It Doesn't Matter, the Chow medley. Yeah, we didn't get. Um, yeah, we got the Chow medley. Yeah, and then um I'm looking at it now. Okay, yeah, I'm remembering now. And then yeah, we didn't get the Sonic Heroes medley or the Dreams of an Absolution. We didn't get those. At least not yet. Then we went straight over into Rooftop Run when they did that rendition, then Aquarium Park and Planet Wisp, and then Sonic Frontiers. Um and I realized that a lot of what they were doing is that they were trying to they were speeding things up mostly just to get to the Act 2, at least from what I can tell. Because again, a lot of the shows change. But it was really nice. A lot of it was really nice. It's such a shame that the Game Gear medley never came back since. I'd really love to have that like played. I will not rest until I finally get to hear Sunset Park. Um, then Act 2 comes in, and that is when we go into the fact that at my show, that was the show where they had Crush 40 and Kellen Quinn, which
Who
is
loves
the
Florida?
wildest thing to ever happen. And Kellen Quinn, like, oh my god, I really wish, like, I know it's a concert, I know, but it's like I kind of wish I had stuck back from singing so much in the background because I would have loved to have heard Kellen more. But it's like just wow. So they played I Am All of Me. They played yeah, I Am All of Me, started act 2. I feel like that's
Yeah, they did that for my show as well.
kind of what they usually do, yeah. Then What I'm Made Of, Open Your Heart, Night of the Wind, Escape from the City, and then in between, we got out for us, it was a debut for us. It was Jun Sonoe and the orchestra playing the opening theme to Sonic Superstars because at the time, the game was coming out. So that was, like, a really cool look into the game at the time, and then we went on to His World, Reach for the Stars, Fist Bump, Endless Possibility, and, well, after that yeah, after Endless Possibility, we, head straight into the encore. Yeah, we go through a little bit more than we, expected, and, yeah. So then we get around to Break Through It All, Undefeatable, and then ends off with Live and Learn.
Oh, my
Um
show didn't end off with Live and Learn. We had one more song afterwards.
mhm, which is what I'm gonna get to in just a moment, but, yeah. So yeah, my time in 2023 was definitely nice. I wish I could have hung out with friends at the 8 o'clock show because that's where they usually that's where they went to, and that show and everything. But afterwards was really, really nice because people from the 8 o'clock show were starting to come in, and I was about to be on my way out. But that is until I started recognizing some people that started to come around. So I ended up seeing Chow Mix. I ended up seeing Chow Mix and um, I also ran into one of my friends, Madison, which was really, really nice. Um, I'm trying to remember more. I ran into more friends from Sonic Revolution. I ran into like the whole group and everything, including our voice actor for Tails, over there, which was really cool. Uh, and then obviously the highlight was that night is when I got to meet with yeah, yeah, and I got to meet with Fidel Gamescage because of course he was there, at that first show, and it was really cool, and that would not be that certainly would not be the only time I get to meet him either, but that was a really nice time, and yeah, I got a bunch of cool little items from artists I met there in line and then after the 3 o'clock show, and I wish I could say I had a little bit more to do in 2023. However, 2024 is a completely different story. So, 2024, it was completely by surprise. So, content creator Sam Procrastinates was holding a giveaway for tickets to any future show to the Sonic Symphony, and in some miraculous case, I ended up winning the second batch. And I was just so in awe of the fact that I was even able to do such a thing. It's like, I won that? I won that. um, yeah. And after and like it took a little bit, but I remember that day I was literally running around in my room. At the time I was temporarily displaced in my life. I'm not going to go into that any further. But I was just really, really happy that something that this awesome was about to happen. And the big surprise was that I ended up winning a ticket for a plus one to go with me to the show. So I ended up contacting a whole bunch of friends who wanted to go with me. However, something happened to where um, I believe what are who the distributor company MGP Live I believe they're called. Yeah, MGP Live. They're the ones do the distributing for the shows and such. Or at least I think that's how they roll. And I never got the tickets for them, and I was getting kind of worried because it was literally like getting so close to the event. So in my haste, I decided to contact Sam about it. Of course, I was reasonably worried. Um, and yeah. I remember I emailed to Sam and no, I didn't email to Sam. I texted him here on Twitter, and he just and he needed my information, like which show I'm planning to go on to, and yeah, um, and yeah. After that, I just I didn't hear from anything. I didn't hear anything from him, and and I wasn't gonna blame him either because he's a busy guy, obviously. And so I decided to take my shot and decided to contact him once again. This time it was through email. I'm pretty sure. Um, Trying to look back through some of my old emails actually, just because it was a really really fun story. Um, yeah, yeah. Okay, here we go. Um, yeah. Okay, I'm remembering now. So um, yeah, and so, I asked Sam if he could assist me, in which he was so kind to help me out at that point. And it pretty much had just led up to me contacting Shota Nakama, the leader of the orchestra. And I am just now remembering that it was actually Discord. It was actually Discord that I ended up finding.
You
Um,
pronouncing it right made me realize I've been mispronouncing it this entire episode. Whoops.
what do you mean?
When I talk about Mr. Namaka, because well, Nakama, I can't speak sometimes, but
Mm.
when I mentioned him, yeah, I guess it's my accent probably, yeah, but yeah, that guy's a good guy. Continue.
So then, yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, here it is. Yeah, Sam was telling me that Nakama-san was wanting to contact me. Um, Sam was sorry, but it's like I totally understand. It's like there's nothing to be sorry at all. Like he has so much to go through anyways. Um, Sam emailed, yeah, he emailed MGP Live a month ago, and yeah, um, yeah, 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 yeah. Everything was just like it is going as smoothly as you could possibly guess it to be. So I then contacted Shota, and um, yeah, he and despite the ticket mishap, he still wanted me to come to the show. And yeah, and even Nakama-san was very generous, saying that if MJP Live didn't happen to have the tickets for me and my plus one, he would have gotten us backstage and let us watch the show from there. And that was truly like a surprise for me and such. Um, and but so yeah, yeah, it was literally the morning of the event. I had to, get ready, head on my way out, and yes. Um, I was, like, actively messaging, emailing Sam and Nakama-san, in between. It's like, "Yes, we're gonna be there. Yes, we're going to make sure that we arrive. Yes, we're gonna make sure that we check up on things." Um, he was checking with MGP, I was checking any emails that I got, um, and then, Sam corrected me saying is that, like, "Oh, yeah, so, like, our tickets can be picked up under my name at the will call tonight." Um, and I was just kinda confused where the will call will be, and it just meant, "Oh, the ticket booth, duh." And yeah, I was able to confirm with him that we were able to get our tickets and that we were going to be up on the first mezzanine, so just the first balcony. In 2023, I was in the third, like the topmost balcony. And now it's like, oh boy, what an upgrade this time. And I wholeheartedly congratulated him and the band on like the future set that they were going to do, and as well as a huge thank you for everything. And by the time I had arrived, I had picked up my plus one, who ended up being shout out to Hopper's Hedgie, my friend Hope, who had joined me that day, and I pretty much made her day because I think it was pretty close to her birthday as well. So that was a really fun time for me. It was a huge, huge, huge event to go to that day, and it was her first symphony, so worked out. And then what was it that I got to meet a few people from a few towns from me. I got to meet some content creators that I met at San Diego Comic Con, which was really awesome because one of them I recognized because she was in line for the Sonic Speed Cafe that year, and she was holding her own little Chow plush, and it was the cutest thing. Um, so we just took a whole bunch of pictures. We got to see some cool people. We picked up the tickets, and then I just frantically ran around to like interact with folks. I ran into Mike Cisneros from Sega. He's like the marketing manager, basically. I got to meet a bunch of cosplayers, people who dressed up as Infinite, Big, Starline. Um, my friend from Adrenaline Dubs, Ozzy, aka Bluespeed Mouse. So cool to have gotten to meet with him too. I actually helped him get into the show because someone was contacting me on Twitter to sell off their ticket, and I said, "Hey, I have a friend who lives in the area, and I would love if you transferred that ticket over to him instead." And so we got to meet. It was awesome. We got to see the DC announcement for DCX Sonic because it happened at the time, which is wild. Still pretty wild to this day. And yeah, so we pretty much just got ready, and it was just the coolest thing. So for this show, things remain the same. Sonic 1, Sonic 2, However, things changed up a bit. No, no, no. We skipped Sonic CD and we got the full Sonic 3 medley this time. Um, so we don't just get Sky Sanctuary. No, we got Sonic 3 and Knuckles, which is great. Um, then we went over into Sonic Mania, Believe in Myself and It Doesn't Matter Again, the Chow medley, and then this time, not back in 2023, but this time we got the Sonic Heroes medley and Dreams of an Absolution. I know people went crazy when they saw Silver. It was all
That's
about Silver.
we all love the Iblis Razor Floof.
And then Sonic Frontiers. There were some omissions, but you know what? It was totally cool. I felt like things were like like the show was already like improving upon itself more and more as it went on. Also, after that, I got to meet people. I got to meet more cosplayers. This angelic Maria, which truly paints a picture. It's really awesome. And then I met up with Chris Hernandez from the lore team. I love that guy. That guy is just so cool. Like, there's so many cool people from Sega, but it's like you want to tell me who I think is the coolest people from Sega. It'll always be like the people from the social media. It's like I will always point out to Katie, Justin, Chris, Jasmine, Sydney, Mike, and Kenneth. It's like they are all cool people. Like gosh, I owe a lot to them. It's just so cool. And then that's when Act Two started. And this time, I Am All of Me did not start off. I Am All of Me did not start off the show. No, 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 no. What started off the show? Um, sorry about that. I'm getting a bit too excited. No, no, no. What started off the show was Breakthrough It All. That was what started for me in 2024.
Must have been rough.
Um, And then we got Find Your Flame. Oh my gosh, we just went straight into Frontiers, and it was the coolest thing. We didn't get Undefeatable, but it was cool to hear Find Your Flame for the first time. And then after that, we got His World, Reach for the Stars, Endless Possibility, a Ghost Pumpkin Soup, Unknown from ME. I don't know what happened. We just ended up just going into a Knuckles direction during the show, and it was hype. And then for the debut performance of this one, Never Turn Back from Shadow the Hedgehog. And that specific performance actually like blew me away. I could not stop thinking about it. I'm pretty sure like I think at the time I just wasn't as familiar with most of the Shadow the Hedgehog endings. Like obviously I knew, All Hail Shadow and I Am All of Me and just like most of the Shadow the Hedgehog endings, but like never like the other ones that people tend to talk about. And I think now since the symphony, Never Turn Back is my favorite Shadow song. Like even more than I Am All of Me and All Hail Shadow. Like that is my favorite Shadow song.
I believe you also
Um
brought up that fact during when we talked about the Shadow 20-year anniversary retrospective back in November.
yeah. But now I can like say that it's the symphony that made me love it so much. And I will still hold that near and dear to me. So then we decided to go backwards and we went back to what I'm made of, Open Your Heart, and Night in the Wind, and then Escape from the City. And then over in the encore, we went over to yeah, they moved I Am All of Me and All Hail Shadow over to the encore. Um, and then we got Live and Learn, and then at the end, because of course, the Final Horizon had come out by that point, we got One Way Dream as a beautiful acapella from um, most of the band that were with us. And that was just a wonderful, wonderful, yeah, just a wonderful experience.
I actually believe.
And
1 second, can I add something really quick?
yeah, sure.
I believe they debuted One Way Dream ending the show actually at the Greensboro event, so that's cool.
I believe it. Like I said, it's like most of the shows tend to have like debut tracks. Like again, Game Gear Medley hasn't been done since 2023 London, and yeah, my show was the first one to get Never Turn Back. But then after the show, it was actually the coolest thing. We got to meet we got to meet them, like the band, in front of the entrance of the theater. Um, I got to take a picture with the conductor that night, Jose. Like really cool guy, really cool guy. He was like tearing it up out there. And then I took a picture with Adrian Kalan. She's so lovely, so lovely. We got to see Nakama-san. I talked to him and thanked him personally, personally and in person, for like the help with everything. And he was just so glad that we made it out there. And then Hope got to take a picture with Ty Christensen. Christensen? Did I just say that? Christian. Dang it. Wow, I was doing so good. We can't have a
Mispronunciations are gonna happen, man. It's the
we
podcast
can't
every day.
have a single episode without it getting scuffed. It's
That's why my entertainment company is Scuffed Studios.
sigh. Ty Christian, I genuinely hope he doesn't hear this. So I hope I got to take a picture with him. I got to meet some of my friends again for Sonic Revolution, and before the night ended, we got to take a picture with June. We got to meet him, Jun Sonoe. Oh my god, there was this huge line that was extended out to where they were, and thankfully I was able to get in line for it in time. And it was just, yeah, no, it was so nice to meet him. And then we got to see Katie, Katie from Sonic Social Media, because I always love to meet them. And like, oh, remember, this would none of this would have happened without Katie. It could have happened some other way, but it's like Katie Shasnowski. I hope I'm saying her name right. I think I heard a miss. I heard that she no Skazanowski. Skazanowski. Ah, great. I'm second guessing myself now. Either way, um, I'm pretty sure I heard her I heard her in a previous live stream, and now I'm like, oh, have I been saying it wrong this whole time? Either way, Katie is the one who made it happen in 2021. She's the one who made it happen for this entire world tour. So it's like I would not want to go a single event at the symphony without wanting to like meet with her and say how much I'm so happy that this happened. It's all because of her. Like again, like the more of the Sonic social media team deserve to get their flowers. Truly, um, I mean, I'm just to throw it out there. I'm not sure many people know that Katie is also the voice of the Jade Wisp, but now you know. Um,
Trivia. This will be
but yeah,
under his
no.
name children.
So while while 2023 was a little bit scuffed in the way that I attended, it was still a wonderful time, and I will never forget those memories of seeing it for the first time. However, 2024 was already better because I had a friend with me. Like it's so much better when you go it with friends or family. Like it is like undeniably so much better. And not to mention like all the people that I met that day as well. Um yeah, no, it was 2024 was an improvement for sure. Like the best experience I've had. And I can only assume that once they do come back, it'll like be even like it'll top 2024 even more. Um but yeah, that's what I went through. Which I will also go ahead and say that this does lead us to our next topic, like where we want the symphony to go to. And if I may, because this is something that was announced a while ago, but no one really talks about it as much. Um, if I may,
Yeah, go ahead.
um, so at one of the Sonic official fan meetings in Korea, Sonic Team will like do like these fun fan meetups with like official like Sega Sonic Team personnel, especially like people like Jun Sonoe, people like Itaro Toyota, especially. Um, I believe I'm trying to remember. Is it yeah, is the Sonic yeah, here it is. Yeah, the Sonic official fan meeting tour. I believe it was not just yeah, Japan, Taiwan, other places in the world. I think they went to uh Indonesia and Malaysia for a few of those dates. Yeah. Yeah, Tomoyo Otani, Sho Nakamura. Yeah, a lot of those creators. Oh, yes, there we go. Uh Kazuyuki Hoshino I'm speaking too fast, so now I'm tripping over my words. Kazuyuki Hoshino. Yes, he's the creator of Amy and Metal Sonic. He was there too. Um, but like the big thing why I'm mentioning that in particular is because at one of their meetups they had announced that the symphony was going to be coming to Korea. However, it's been since those dates, so I have no idea like what exactly happened to that, or if the symphony plans to like maybe it'll have to come back this year. It's the 35th. I can only assume so. Um, aside from that, it's like, yeah, one of the next places that the symphony will possibly end up at is Korea. So all those Sonic fans will definitely be having a fun time. Now I'm gonna turn my page back over to you, so we can like, you know, discuss.
Yeah, one of the major criticisms I did see from the symphony, with the location wise, is the locations. Obviously, there are some places in the world that unfortunately did not get it. Some places I understand, but I remember some of my friends were telling me that they would have loved to see the show in Argentina, Brazil. Oh, wait, they went to Brazil. My bad. But like more places in like South America. I believe they went to Australia. I think once. I can't really remember, but I'm pretty sure. You can fact check me on this, but one of the things that world tours kind of do sometimes is that they call themselves world tours, but only tour like 6 or 7 countries.
Yeah, no, that's definitely not just Sonic, and I totally no, that's not just Sonic.
Yeah, but I would love to see them go to. revisit some areas, but also come to like some new areas. Like as I've always, as something I've really wanted to do is if the podcast ever gets large enough, maybe like a lot of the co-hosts can come meet together and go to an event together. That would be really cool. And I will be handing out I'll be handing out stuff like like doing something like cool like that. But yeah, I loved all the stuff that I saw there. But yeah, I would love to see places like Charlotte get it, and also some like more like rural places. I know that they had to cancel some shows. I was talking to my dad, and there was talks about us potentially going to the show in South Carolina before it got canceled. Unfortunately, obviously, I'm not going to criticize them for cancelizations. Because at that point you've done shows like the entire year. You're gonna cancel sometimes. I found that completely fine. But yeah, I loved everything about the symphony because you could enjoy it. But I want to see like more of that joy. Obviously, you can't have them do this forever. Obviously, but I would love for this to come back once every couple of years because it was successful. The fact that I think almost every single show sold out. So I think they could go to other locations the next time they run this back. Which they probably will be either for the 35th anniversary or even the 40th. If they don't come back at the 35th or the 40th, I can guarantee that it would come back at a hypothetical 50th. I just don't want to think about 2031. Do you agree with what I'm saying, Floof?
No, yeah, yeah, I see what you mean. Like, and I agree with a lot of what you were saying too. Um, yeah, like like a lot of South America definitely deserves to experience the symphony as well. I know, like I have a whole bunch of friends. Um, yeah, a whole bunch of friends that would want to see it. Um, I know that I'd want the same for um, more places in the UK as well. Like I'm thinking of like um oh, what exactly am I thinking of right now, huh? Um whew, 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 excuse me. Um yeah. Um yeah, like especially yeah, Wales and Ireland. Just I'm just thinking about like if basically just a whole bunch of friends over there and such. Um and I think oh shoot. I'm trying to think here. Definitely more places outside of Japan as well. Um, and uh, oh, more Canada shows, just so I can push some friends of mine over there to go. And also because I think it'd be funny for like, because like I totally would expect Fidel. I would totally expect Fidel to do something about that. It's like, oh yeah, I'm totally going to just right here, and like you do a stream, and it'd be so funny. I just think that would totally happen. Um, but yeah, no, like just more shows outside of where they usually perform. Like obviously they will still do it in places like California and Japan and in Tokyo and such because of course like that's where Sega is. But like I would totally would want to also see like and Europe as well. Like I think it would only make the most sense for them to like perform closest to where Sega Hardlight is, Sega of Europe. Yeah. That would totally work as well. Um but apart from that, yeah, no. Yeah, more places in the UK, more places in Japan, and and definitely more in Canada in general. And if we want to continue doing more in the US, then new venues, not the same venues as before. If you have to do the same venues, then again, like Europe, Japan, and California, as I mentioned, or like, and also consider states that haven't performed in yet, like states that they haven't performed at yet.
I'm
Um,
surprised they never performed in Montana.
hmm, I wait, hold on. Now I'm kind of curious to look up if they have performed in. Nope, that's not it. Uh,
Obviously, there's some states are going to be guaranteed to get a show again.
obviously, of course, like I had mentioned before. Did they? Looking at it now. Yeah, no, they've. Yeah, no, I'm looking at it now. It's like, yeah, they never performed in Vegas. I was kind of expecting them to, but they haven't.
Whatever happens in Casino Night Zone apparently never happened in Casino Night Zone.
Ha. But yeah, no, I think that's just kind of where that's where our consensus is for right now. And yeah, yeah, that's it.
Yeah. I loved the symphony. Some of the cosplays you were mentioning, it just reminded me that someone was dressed up as Mario at the symphony, which was hilarious. Originally, I was fully on thinking of dressing up as Mario and handing out copies of Wonder around, but I didn't want to get kicked out of the vicinity facility.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, but yeah, I enjoyed it. It was fantastic. I am jealous that you got that you live in California and you got all the stuff, but I still enjoyed it obviously over where I am. It's a magical experience seeing something like this come to life, especially for Sonic. I would love to see this come up again in the future. Obviously, I think everyone wants it to come back in the future.
Hmm.
Yeah. Um, it was definitely an experience that I think everyone enjoyed, and I would love to see it come back in the future. Uh, the reason why you're wondering why we didn't do this episode last year is because they did do some shows in 2025, so it does count for it being a 1 year later in 2026. Yeah. Well, I believe that's everything that we have to talk about.
Huh. Yeah, I guess that's it, huh?
Um, as always, thank you for watching the podcast of disaster. As always, be good to yourselves, others, and mothers, and see you next time.
Get yourself a ticket whenever you can when the symphony comes back. You won't regret it.
Yeah, not sponsored.